I think in terms of the reconstruction and recovery, so the physical infrastructure, we've done a really good job at trying to not just, and we were talking about this earlier today, not just building back what was there before. So if it was a wooden bridge, you don't just put back a wooden bridge, but you build back better. You build back something, you build back a bridge that's going to be able to withstand floods or rains or so on. So in terms of the physical infrastructure, I think we've done a really good job of trying to get things back to a point that they won't be as heavily impacted. I think in terms of, and this is part of that's part of the mitigation element, the part of the preparation element is really about, and response, which is about ensuring that our disaster management arrangements are as good as they can be. And that's about people at a state level, people at a local level, it's about NGOs, it's about communities knowing what their job is on the day. There's a great story of a community in North Queensland, Japoonvale it's called, and it's between Tully and Innisfail. And it's a small kind of rural community. And after Cyclone Larry, the local community members said, we're going to actually take much more ownership of our disaster management arrangements. So they put in place various mechanisms within the community. So they knew in terms of communication, we'll use UHF, we'll use local businesses to actually get the information and communication around this community. They actually set down a framework of who's good at first aid, who's got psychological first aid skills, where are we going to put the helicopters if they have to come in, where's the SES going to be based, where are the tarpaulins going to be. And that was the actual local community did that. They've articulated that, they've actually given that information to each community member. So it's things like that. We have, and that's at quite a small scale, but we also have really good arrangements at a state level with the Commonwealth and so on. So
social capital, though, as you were saying before, they've obviously
absolutely
got the lifelines around the pockets in that regard, and have made themselves as ready as can be.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that's the third element, which I think is the Queensland Government has put in place a program called Get Ready Queensland, and that's really about you and me actually knowing what to do. Yeah, you and me. Okay. There's a little list here. And the list says, you know, so what is it that you need to have in your house so that you can survive for 3 days? What's your evacuation plan? Have you got the local SES numbers available? Do you know what radio station to tune into? Do you know your neighbours? Do you know who they are and what their evacuation plans are? And more importantly, do you know who's vulnerable in your community? Do you know the lady down the road that actually has mobility issues who might need some assistance? And what can you do? Have you chat to her and actually organise that you'll be in touch if something happens? So it's that aspect, again, it's about that personal responsibility, and we're trying to get that message out to the community and saying, guys, you're involved too. You need to take some personal responsibility for it, as well as local government, as well as NGOs, as well as state government. Yeah.